truth. And then this time, this is a Notre Dame defense coming in that had only given up one touchdown pass of over 20 yards. They gave up 3 in that second quarter as Trevor Lawrence got hot and diced them apart. Spectacular catch by T. Higgins on the third.
And the big development, Julian Love is back in the game now for Notre Dame. And immediately makes his return known as he drops Hunter Renfrow after a short gain to pick up a 3 for Clemson. Here's Tom Rinaldi.
Julian Love came out of the tunnel with the rest of his teammates, Sean, in a full jog, continuing to test the lower motion on that body, perhaps stretching out the hamstring, doing drills like that over and over. He is certainly a sight for sore eyes for this defense. What a difference when he was out for the majority of that first half, Sean.
And the game changed dramatically in the second quarter when he left. Clemson on target, Lawrence. T. Higgins trying to break free, fighting for every inch. And he's to the 47-yard line of Notre Dame, although Gilman finally got him down, a gain of 25.
See, Lawrence reads the linebacker. The linebacker still sits up on the tight end. He throws it right over his head to the crossing Higgins on the dig route. Just good, patient read. And again, the protection for Trevor Lawrence.
Ball deflected. Notre Dame needs a big play from the defense. Asmar Bilal went diving for it. They're calling it, saying he caught it, at least for the moment. The official from the far sideline ran in and kind of half-heartedly pointed in that direction, and then after the conference, he did it with a bit more enthusiasm. Jonathan Bonner, another deflected pass.
It's an RPO. They fake the run. Bonner gets his hand on it. Does he have control as he goes to the ground?
Well, Bill Lamagna, I don't want to jinx him because he's been all over it all day. What do you think, Bill?
He started to have control, but that ball he does not have firmly. The point of the ball hits the ground, incomplete pass. Again, as we've said earlier, the ball can touch the ground as long as the receiver or defender has control as he's going to the ground. It doesn't appear that he has control of the football.
While they review it, I want to go back to what Tom Rinaldi said about Julian Love, because there seemed to be some question about what his injury was. Was it a head injury? Was it a hamstring? We saw him grab the back of his leg when he first went out of the game. If it was a hamstring, why was he just sitting on the sideline watching? He kind of leisurely rode the bike, and then he was sitting there. If that's what it is, and there's a chance to get him back in, wouldn't you take him somewhere and be giving him as much treatment nonstop as you need to get him back out more urgently?
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that we just don't have enough information to know what the situation truly was, it's kind of hard to speculate. It is good to see him back on the field because not only is he their best cover corner, but he's one of those 6 defenders on this defense with over 25 games of starting experience and one of the real leaders of this group.
No doubt. 34 consecutive starts tonight. Tom, can you elaborate?
I know that Brian Kelly referred to it as a head injury, clearly, Sean, but when he emerged out of that tent after between 15 and 20 minutes of treatment of real time, he continued to do drills, crouch down, trying to stretch out the hamstring on both sides. That's what perhaps indicated more than anything else, as well as pregame, when Julian Love was off by himself, continuing to stretch long before the rest of the team goes through their customary drills. So that's what perhaps indicated it.
The defender never maintains possession throughout the catch. Ball hit the ground between the pass, therefore it's an incomplete pass. Ball being returned to the previous spot, where it'll be second down. Please reset the game clock to 13:53. 13:53.
Well, outstanding job by Bill Lamagna in the booth with us, and outstanding job by the replay officials because they have been right on it every single call.
So the ball stays with Trevor Lawrence and Clemson. And just to reiterate the importance of Julian Love, first team All-American.
Yeah.
The all-time leader in Notre Dame in passes broken up. Also holds the single season mark. He had 20 of them last year. 3 career defensive touchdowns. Only Tom Zibikowski has had more in the history of Notre Dame football. Etienne spins ahead for a yard. Tavon Coney in on the stop. It'll be third down, and third down was the key for Clemson in that second quarter. They're 6 out of 10 for the game.
And 9 of those 10 third down plays they threw the football. I would expect a throw here on 3rd down and 9.
Trevor Lawrence, 264 through the air at the half. That is a Cotton Bowl Classic halftime record. The previous mark, 245 by Baylor's Bryce Petty against Michigan State in 2015. A Notre Dame blitz. Lawrence has time, launches one up in the air, some contact. T. Higgins, the intended receiver, no flag. Troy Pride had excellent coverage. The junior from Greer, South Carolina, who was excited to play against his home state university, Clemson.
Gets right in the hip pocket. There is contact. He reads the eyes of the receiver, then rips up through the hands as the ball's coming to Higgins. Pretty good coverage, I think, by Troy Pride. I like that there was no call there.
Brian Polian, the Notre Dame special teams coach, said one of the things you have to watch out for, particularly in big games, is fakes in special teams. With a big lead here, you would think they would play it conservatively, and Will Spires does punt it away, and Chris Fink makes a fair catch inside the 13-yard line. College football playoff national championship weekend in the Bay Area, that's going to be the place to be, whether your favorite team is playing or not. You can learn more about the events and festivities planned for CFB's championship campus at collegefootballplayoff.com. Don't miss out on the biggest weekend of the college football season. National championship game a week from Monday night in Santa Clara, California, at Levi's Stadium, the home of the San Francisco 49ers. Can Ian Book get this offense going? He's chopped down after a 2-yard run by Kayvon Wallace. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, everybody wanted to know how Clemson would absorb the loss of Dexter Lawrence, their great defensive tackle, and they've done it by committee. I've seen 3 different guys rotate in at his position, and as many as 8 on the defensive front. Clemson has rotated a lot all year. They're continuing that same tradition. Guys are fresh, and they've held up pretty well without big Dex.
Time through a wobbler that's caught by Boykin. Very little gain for Notre Dame with Trayvon Mullen right there.
And we talked about the touch chart for Clemson in that first half, particularly the second quarter. Notre Dame not able to do the same thing. They have not been able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers.
They're 3 out of 9 on 3rd down.
This is an area of the field where you think Chris Fink needs to kind of make a play for Notre Dame.
They bring him in motion. 4-man rush. Book trying to run for it. Dives for the line to make. Venables at the top of your screen. Can't believe it. They had him hemmed in. And Book, with that much discussed running ability, with a huge 3rd down conversion for Notre Dame.
Well, just has a good feel for when to leave the pocket and how to elude pressure, and that was a much-needed conversion by Ian Book.
Spins away from the rush. He's going to run again. And he runs out of bounds with an 8-yard gain. We talked to Ian Book yesterday, Todd. He said he really watches closely and admires Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield, but particularly Drew Brees. Yeah. And when you watch him play, similar height, similar athletic ability, very accurate. I mean, anybody would have a long way to go to be Drew Brees.
Yeah.
But you can see the comparisons. Play fake, and he's trying to get it to Boykin. He's trying to sell a flag, and he'll get it from A.J. Terrell. Tommy Reese, the quarterback coach, former Notre Dame quarterback, said to him, "Why can't you beat Drew Brees?" And Book said, "If I'm going to beat Drew Brees, I need to study more because so much of Drew's success is cerebral."
Defense number 8, 15-yard penalty to the previous spot, automatic 1st down.